just smashing them. Don't do this. Bad idea. Here is the crazy operation. Everything gets wheeled out during the day to soak up the sun. Some of these plants have been growing now for about 5 to 6 weeks, others just maybe 3 or 4. You can tell the ones that have been like freshly up potted. Some of these little tiny guys, this is a nasturtium that was just up potted the other day. He's gonna have to hang out with me for a little bit longer before he goes out. But a lot of these plants are about ready to go. Temperature is a huge thing when you plant a garden. So some of the spring crops have already been off and put into their permanent homes. I probably had about 1 full table's worth of plants being picked up already or planted by myself. Some of these babies are actually going with us on our planting job today, so let's grab them and get going. Seatbelt to, you know, make sure they're tucked in. I'm just kidding. I don't actually do that, but you could. I get so much activity every single day just by chasing plants around. We're going to Maria's garden to see one of my first year gardens. That's super exciting. This is year 4 of planting it. Can't wait to show you. See you there. We are at Maria's. It's time to put her plants in the ground. So I'm gonna get all my goodies out of the car. We'll take it up there and I'll show you this beautiful garden space. Hi, Maria. I brought my friends with me. We are here at Maria's garden. I'm super excited. She's one of my favorite clients. I've known Maria since 2020. You were probably like my 6th or 7th garden space ever installed. You hit me up right at the beginning, which was really cool and always special to me because your job was actually the first one. We did Corten steel, this beautiful box in the center. It was the first job. We installed irrigation and lighting. So you really helped me like elevate my business space. So thank you so much for trusting me and letting me work my magic. How would you describe this space before I came here?
So this was just flat beds. I mean, all the holes were here, but it was just flat beds that the previous owner, I think, just used as an herb garden. Actually, one of our mutual friends, we went out to lunch. She was like, yeah, I just, you know, we planted this garden. She was showing us pictures and I was like, that is so cool. I want to, you know, learn more about this. And so then I contacted Karen and it's just been amazing. Like I didn't know that I wanted a garden or needed a garden, but I thought it'd be a cool thing to do. And we look forward to it each year.
So one thing we're doing to increase the functionality of this garden space this year, we're actually going to be adding an arbor between the first 2 boxes. She loves her tomatoes. I think we're putting like a dozen tomatoes in, and it's really important to rotate where you plant them. So it's intentional for that point too. So she'll have vertical growing space for the tomatoes and it's fresh soil to grow them in. So I'm thinking through where plants want to live and for aesthetics. So this is the centerpiece box. So I really want to put something in here that's going to look really attractive year round. Rosemary is beautiful year round. It looks consistently the same. It'll just get bigger and bushier. Kale is a gift that keeps on giving. It lasts until December. So every time you walk through here, this is what you're going to see. So I'm going to fill this center box up with some really beautiful options. And then from a functional option, this is her highest box, and romaine lettuce would definitely get targeted by bunnies if they wanted to hop in some of these lower boxes. So I think too that these leafy greens are going to be more protected the higher up they are. And sometimes you get these random plants pop up and people are always like, oh, is this edible? Is this salvageable? But this guy right here, unfortunately, is a weed and he has to go. Some herbs are perennial, meaning they do come back every year, and Maria has a whole lot of luck. Her house and this little retaining wall gives it a little protection from the weather, coupled with a really mild winter equals all sorts of herbs that are coming back. So these little sprouts right here, these are dill babies. So it looks like her dill patch wants to live right here. And then your little guy here is coming around, and then her sage always does incredible. It's wild how big it gets. Last but not least, we have oregano, and I always put oregano in a corner because it gives it some boundaries so it doesn't just spread out and take over your entire garden. She's working out pretty good here, given that she has about 8 different boxes already, but this is oregano. It's beautiful. It comes back every year. And like I said, it does have a spreading habit, so make sure you put it in a corner where it can stay nice and tidy. These are all the stakes that we use. Put those aside, not impale ourselves here. Death by garden stakes. Oops, it's okay. A little extra compost, it'll break down. There we go. Nobody gets hurt now, except for me maybe. Okay. So behind these cages, it will get a little shadier. Things like leafy greens do well in a little bit of shade, so I'm gonna stick her parsley back there too, and basil next time when it's safe to plant that. Today we're gonna be growing sugar snap peas and snow peas. She likes a little bit of both, and they require trellising, so we'll definitely put them along area where we can take them vertical. Onions, you want to make sure you give them enough space to bulb, and that's about 6 inches apart. A little trick with your hands, if you do this between your thumb and your pinky finger, for most people that's about 6 inches, so that's an easy way to kind of measure. And then when we're ready to put these in the ground, you just move a little bit of the dirt, the root system goes down in the earth, and then the pointy tip up, it'll sprout new life through the top. So make it disappear, little pat, it's good to go. Onions in 2 months. Maria has irrigation in the soil, so we have to be a little careful when we're digging our holes to not necessarily hit it, but it's okay. Always handy to have though. Good to have irrigation in the garden for sure. All right, so this is my day. Maria and I, we're gonna get to work. Thanks for joining me with Homegrown Gardens. I'll see you next time. Look at him, he's buzzing. He's probably really happy we just planted. Word on the street, the vegetables are in. I love that. The garden magic begins already.